So we are going to talk about how to build your LinkedIn profile from the scratch. Now, I'll tell you a fun part. I joined LinkedIn in 2015, and till you can say 2017, my LinkedIn profile was incomplete. Like there was nothing at all. I just used to keep sending, random requests to people, not knowing like why am I doing it or what is the purpose, right? So, the first thing which I'm going to talk about today is why you should have a LinkedIn profile in the first place. Okay. Now, this I think I realized way later when I was on the verge of searching for a job after my master's that LinkedIn is your online resume. Okay. It's your online CV. A lot of hiring managers actually, check out your LinkedIn profile before seeing your resume, which you might have sent it over email or the recruiter box. Okay, they check your LinkedIn profile, and some companies, some law firms, they actually ask you specifically for your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so it's your personal brand, how you are showcasing it. Like when you upload something on your Instagram profile, let's say if you like to travel, mostly your Instagram profile will be around traveling. Okay, wherever you go, you'll click pictures, you'll post, so that will show your personal brand that okay, I can relate that this person likes traveling. Or let's say if you are a foodie, you'll post pictures, of every food or every good place which you visit to eat, right? And it's your portfolio. So when you go for modeling, there is a portfolio, right, which is like a book, or let's say like a profile of your various pictures and whatever you have done. So it's same, it's more or less similar, but it's just that it's more professional. So LinkedIn is your resume, which is like more professional. Okay, it's the Instagram of jobs and internships. Now, yes, so when the second point is you get independent validation. Now, why I say this is that, there is a section called recommendations, right? So when let's say you are a law student, you apply for internships, and that's when you reach out to your college authorities that, okay, I need a recommendation certificate. At least we used to follow that. Okay, whenever I'm applying for any internship, I used to write to the registrar, and he used to, issue a recommendation certificate, simply saying that this person is a student of our university. This is the subject they have studied. It would be great if you accept him or her in your organization. It's a simple recommendation, right? On LinkedIn, on the other hand, people you have worked with, they can actually give you recommendations. So I will talk about recommendations and endorsements in after a couple of slides, so just stay tuned. Again, hiring managers, yes, a lot of them actually look at your LinkedIn profiles. Now, yeah, this particular thing that your name shows on Google, I had no idea about it till I actually went ahead and searched for my name. So it was, chronologically, if I can tell you, my Facebook profile was on the fourth link, right? The first link was LinkedIn profile, right? Because I think analytics works like that. So anytime let's say I search anyone's name on Google, and if you have a proper updated LinkedIn profile, it will show up on Google. Okay, so think this from a recruiter's perspective. If they are searching for your name on Google and your LinkedIn profile is appearing in the first link itself, so nothing like it, right? Now, cultivate and manage network. LinkedIn is all about networking. That's why we actually, connect to people, right? So I'm going to talk about networking also. Now, again, yes, this is like the, you can say mantra of LinkedIn, that you don't have to write that, okay, I have connected to this lawyer or this particular faculty, while I was interning. You can actually reach out to them on LinkedIn. If they are not there on LinkedIn, I think you should go back and tell them to make a LinkedIn profile, right? You can search for all your contacts. Mostly your contacts are also synced through your Gmail account. That's what I have seen in my case. uh yeah, it's a great place to spy on other people and on companies, not really become a stalker, but yeah, you can see what others are doing in their professional life, or let's say what companies are doing in their day to day activity. So this is why you should have a LinkedIn profile, to do all these things, and it will help you in all these things basically. Okay, moving on to the next slide. Right. Now, a lot of, I think, people have already attended my session during when I was there in Lawctopus. And if you remember this, well and good. If not, I will tell it for everyone. There is something called a elevator pitch. Okay. Now, to give you an example, this is a real life example, and I'm not kidding. I'll tell you the person's name also. You can, probably search for him on LinkedIn. So a friend of mine, he was doing an internship in Singapore, and he happened to go to this club where he used to just chill with his friends every weekend. Okay, so one day what happened? He was just chilling with his friend in this club, and suddenly he went down to take a walk. Okay, I think he got a call or something, and he went down to take a walk. Now there is this one particular company where he wanted to do an internship. Okay, and he was still in college. Like, I was in fourth year, so he was, I think, in fourth year as well. He wanted to do this internship, and what happened was that the company's CEO was also in Singapore, and he happened to be there in the club itself. So what happened? The My friend went down to attend a phone call, and he was coming up. Okay, now this elevator pitch, I'm explaining you through this example, but this is how it is. Okay, it is called the elevator pitch. So the simple thing is that he went and he was shocked to see that person, the CEO of that company, his dream company. Okay, to name it, it was like a banking company called Goldman Sachs. Okay, it comes under Big Four. So he was the CEO, and he just saw, and he gave him a smile, and suddenly he strike that conversation. Okay, that, oh, where are you going? Like, he was a young fellow, fourth year student. Okay, he's just flustered, and he just saw someone who he wishes to work with. So they had this conversation, and then at the end, what they had this conversation about, what do you do, what are you doing here? Okay, and then he told him about his current internship which he was doing. And it happened that that person, the CEO, he gave him his card. Okay, and 2 years later, that person was actually sitting for Goldman Sachs interview. Okay, so this is how your elevator pitch
Hello.
should be. That you have, like, elevator takes how much time to reach from one floor to one floor? Hardly 20 seconds, 30 seconds. So 20 seconds, 30 seconds, it's called your elevator pitch. Now recruiters, when they're looking at your LinkedIn profile, they take 3 seconds to decide whether to stay in your profile. Now, why? If it is incomplete, there is no point in staying at your profile. I can actually move on to someone else's profile which is updated. Okay, I will have this notion that you are not the right candidate for me, right? I can move on to someone else. Okay, so 3 seconds, it's like I can count it on my fingers right now. It's like 1, 2, and 3. That's the only time they will take to decide if they want to pursue you for a job. Second, 30 seconds for the first read. Okay, now let's say if your profile is very up to date and I have decided to stay on your profile, I will just skim through whatever you have written. Okay, your let's say 5 6 internships, what you do, what you have done in the past, what are your achievements. That's the only thing I'm going to check. Okay, and whether you are the right candidate for the job or the internship or not. So 30 seconds to make the first read, like skim through your profile. 180 seconds to decide whether to stay in your profile and continue further and contact you, right? So it's a 330 180 elevator pitch, which I have termed it like that. Okay, so the thing is that through your profile you have to make a very quick impression. Okay, be it anyone or everyone, your profile should be like in a way that it actually attracts people. Okay, not that okay it will turn people down, right? So elevator pitch, remember this, and you have to build your profile in a way that it actually comes under these three categories. That in 3 seconds the recruiter will decide to stay, 30 seconds for the first read, and 180 seconds for him to go through each and every detail. Okay, moving further, so now we are going to talk about how to build your profile from the scratch. Okay. This is very important. If you don't have a notebook and a pen with you, please keep it handy. Okay. You can take a minute gap break and, get a notebook and a pen. Otherwise, yeah, you can, just write it down also. So, okay, we were here. I'll move on to the next slides. Now, step one is LinkedIn is very basic. Okay. If I give you an example, I'll just give you an example of building a Facebook profile. Okay. What all do you need? Place, email address, your phone number, just to, sort of do a security check, your name, your place, picture, random stuff, right? But LinkedIn, I think it's the most sorted professional networking site ever. It gives you everything. I mean, once you start building it from the scratch, if you already have it, well and good. You can see everything in front of you. But let's say if you're building it from the scratch, you are logging in for the first time, then what all will it show you? It will show you a headline section. It will show you a about section about yourself, your education, your work ex. Then comes the additional details, which contains courses, moot courts, research papers, articles, other achievements, gold medals, whatever, internships, skills and endorsements, recommendations, and more. Okay, so these are the highlight, which, let's say if I click on your profile or if you click on my profile, you can see it. Okay, now moving on to the next slide. So I'll just give you sort of a backdrop of how like to update your profile. So starting with the basics, you have to have your basics clear and updated. Now what are the basics? Okay, first, your name. I am not interested what your pet name is. Okay, let's say if my pet name is XYZ, why would I write it on a professional networking website? Okay, I would write my official name. So your name. Secondly, your headline. Now, headline is something which I will teach you in a couple of slides later, that how do you build your headline. Okay, and what is a good headline and what is a a no headline. Okay, then your location. Now I have shifted to Raipur, and it's a blunder on my end, but I would not call it a blunder. Okay, I have shifted to Raipur, but for the time being because of COVID. But I was in Mumbai. Okay, and it still says Mumbai because I will move back to Mumbai. But I know for a fact, and I know a lot of people who were in US, and now they have shifted to let's say Bangalore or Delhi or Mumbai, but they have still written US. Okay, that's not how it should be. Once you have shifted from city to city, you have to update your current location. Okay, then your industry. Now what is our industry? Our industry is legal. Okay, for anyone else, if you are attending from a non-legal background, you can update your industry. Let's say if you are into MBA, if you have done MBA, then business management is your industry. If you work in financial sector, then finance is your industry. So industry has to be relevant. Okay, contact information, phone number, again, it's completely your discretion if you want to put it or not. Email and website, if you have your own website, you can put it. These are the basic information. Okay, once you log into LinkedIn, this is what you will have to fill. Moving on to the next slide. Now we are going to talk about headline. Okay, now headline, you can see there are two pictures, how it should be and how it should not be. Okay, now if you see both the people, okay, and I'm not going, they are imaginary people, by the way. Both the people, they come from legal background. You can see one is partner at Miller and Joyce, University of Baltimore School of Law. Okay, and the location is also updated. Now, a quick question for everyone who's attending. Okay, if you are a recruiter, or let's say you just want to connect with one of the people, who would you connect with? Okay, there's Ron Miller on one side, and there's Mr. No One on the other side. Okay, so just looking at the profile, who would you connect with? Let me just check the chat once. Ron Miller. Okay, okay, perfect. So you guys got the difference, right? Here, in the second, how it should not be. It is too much information for me to actually, grab, like cloud compute, ICT policy review, 5G, 6G, ML, AR, VR, IPR game changer. I mean, I don't know what is the person trying to do. He is all over the place. Okay. But with Ron Miller, he has written partner at Miller and Joyce. This is his headline. Okay. And in headline, on the other side, it says everything. Indian patent attorney, blockchain, AI patents. I have no idea. This person is all over the place. Okay. So my attention spam is something where I would focus on Ron Miller rather than, focusing on Mr. No One. Right. So this is your headline. How your headline should be. And it's very simple. It's very simple. I'll just type it down for you guys. Okay. So let's say if you are, a student, a fourth year student in Symbiosis. Okay. Just giving an example. So your headline should look something like fourth years. I'm just typing it down in the chat box, guys. Just give me a minute. SLS Pune. Fourth year student at SLS Pune. That's all your headline should talk about. I do not want to know if you're a member of, let's say, moot court committee, or if you are a member of your, let's say, sports committee. You are good at sports. No, I am not interested. Okay. What I want to know is this person is a fourth year student at Symbiosis Law School, Pune. This is your headline. Okay. If I see this, I am sold. I am sold over here. Okay. Now comes what if you are a fresh law graduate? Okay. A lot of you might already be in your fourth year and fifth year. What if you are a fresh law graduate who has just finished their LLB or LLM degree, right? Now, if you have a specialization, let's say, if you have done your specialization in corporate law, constitutional law, administrative law, IPR, then you can actually write specialized in IPR. Okay. Or write BALLB honors IPR. Okay. That's it. Do not provide all the internship details which you have done in IPR. Right. That will be like too much information for me, and I would simply, press the cross button. I would not want to go forward with it. So, uh, again, Kritika, Charmika, I'll take your question, but let me get done with it. I don't want to get distracted. So, yeah, headline, keep it very simple, crisp. That's it. Okay. Now, next is we'll come to the prof- uh,
Mhm.
profile picture. Okay. Can you keep yourself on mute? Yeah. Okay. Profile picture. Selfie or no selfie? Now, guys, this is not Instagram or Facebook. Okay. You can see, look at the example. Which picture would you post? I mean, if you would you post the selfie? And these are like both the pictures of are a like a single person. So my only question is, in a professional networking site, what would you post? Would you post a selfie or would you post a headshot? Okay. So just think about it and look at the picture on the screen. Now, to explain you in a way, a lot of people actually ask me whether we can post our passport size photograph. as long as it is professional, okay, you can post it. Previously I actually had posted my passport size photo. There's no harm in posting a passport size photo, okay. The only thing is you should be formally dressed, right? Headshots are better, which are, like professional photographs, clicked by photographers. You can actually ask any of the photographers to click a headshot for you and put it on your LinkedIn profile. No selfies at all, okay? No selfies whatsoever. No loud makeup, no loud clothing, okay? When, remember this, you are putting the picture in a professional networking site. It's not Instagram or let's say Tinder or Bumble, okay? It's LinkedIn, right? So your picture should talk about, and your picture is your brand. That's how the person is going to know that, okay, this is how she looks or this is how he looks, okay. So no selfies at all. It can either be, let's say, your passport size photograph or your professional headshot. Now, I get these questions a lot. What if I have no picture? That's also not a good thing, okay. That will make your profile more shady, that okay, this person has not put his picture, right? And I personally can tell you, I do not accept LinkedIn requests which does not have a professional picture or a picture, okay. Even if it's selfie, I would suggest that person, but I choose not to. Since you guys are here attending the session, I would tell you that, but I do not accept request which does not have a picture, okay. To be very honest, the profile looks shady to me, okay, even though if other details are updated. Coming to the next thing, about section, okay. Now, this particular picture on your right, you can actually see that there is a about section, and Rafael Parker, his headline: first head of strategic growth at New Front Insurance. Crisp, short, and simple, but to the point, okay. Now comes the about section. About section is like a summary of yourself and your achievements, your experience, your education, okay. Now, to give you a hint, just read the about section which is there on the screen. It says, ex corporate lawyer, ex non-profit founder, ex tech executive, ex round the world cyclist, ex Nigerian federal government employee, current working with an incredibly bright group of people who are fanatically devoted to solving the problems faced by other incredibly bright people in the insurance space, so that we can help businesses grow faster. What did I learn from this particular about section? He has been an ex corporate lawyer. He has worked with the Nigerian government. He has been a cyclist. Okay. Obviously, his extracurricular activity. Plus, currently, he's working in the insurance sector. It's very crisp and clear. I can easily make out. Okay. Plus, his headline says New Front Insurance. Okay. And he's into strategic growth. Okay. So he looks at the growth aspect of it. Now, see, the thing is, if you put too much information in your about section, and if you're not putting relevant information in your about section, chances are that the recruiter will not even know that what you are trying to convey. Okay. So, as long as you're putting things which are relevant to the profile or to your interests, right, it's good. But again, moving to the previous slide where I explained you how to write a headline, please do not put hashtags in your about section. Please do not put emoticons in your about section. It should be very simple, crisp, and clear, conveying the message you're trying to convey, okay. Now, coming to the points. So, this is a sell yourself section where you are giving the information which is required for the recruiter to actually decide whether to go forward with your application or not. And this is in case of both internship and a job, or even when you want to connect with someone. Let's say, if you want to connect with Mark Zuckerberg, okay, for example, it's a hypothetical situation. If you want to connect with him, the person should know that why are you sending him a request and what is your background, okay. And how will he know? He will know from the message you send. We'll come to that. and your about section. So he will read, right, what you have done, what are you good at. Okay, so this is your sell yourself, like a pitch. And again, this is your elevator pitch. This is the same thing which you will tell your recruiter when they ask you the question, tell me about yourself. Okay, that's the same about section which you can put here, like on LinkedIn. It's a again, 2000 characters is the max which you can put. So you have to be very mindful of the fact whatever information you're putting in this particular about section. Okay, now build your professional headline above head of strategic growth at New Front Insurance, but the detailed key skills, experience and education is always put in the about section. Okay, so these two are simultaneously built. Okay, first you write your headline, then on the basis of your headline, to justify your headline, you write the about section. Then comes the first person or third person. So I just want to ask you guys, do you guys know the difference between a first person and the third person? Quick show of hands in the chat box, please. Okay, cool. So I've seen some people write, their about section, right, like, so I'll give you an example taking the one there on the screen. They would have written like, if they are writing it in a third person sense. Okay, so Rafael Parker is an ex corporate lawyer. So they refer to themselves by their name. Don't do that. Don't do that. It looks like that someone else has created the profile, not you. You can obviously write about yourself. I have been a law student. I am a law graduate from this college. I am skilled in, let's say, drafting, conveyancing, mediation, whatever. Always use always keep this in mind whenever you are writing your about section. Keep it in first person perspective. Okay, do not write it in third person. It actually looks like someone else is building your profile. Don't use third person perspective. Okay, uh avoid jargon. Again, the jargons I'm going to come in the next slide. What are the jargons which you should completely avoid? Okay, now jargons are certain words, okay, which we put in our profile just to make it cool, or let's say make it something valuable to the recruiter. But there are certain words which you should avoid completely. Okay, the list is in the next slide, so just wait for me to actually explain you. Don't oversell. Okay, if you have read 56 subjects in your law school, do not write all the subjects. Okay, there are certain subjects where you are very good in, on like you master those subjects, you can write about that. But do not write all the 56 subjects which you have read in your law school. Okay, and do not write everything that, okay, I am good at mediation, I am good at let's say litigation, I am good at handling NGO work. Do not write everything. That's again too much information and it's like overselling yourself. Okay, what if they actually start asking you questions around it and you don't know anything? You have just written it for the sake of writing it. So it's like you're actually inviting them to grill you, during their interview sessions or whatever. Okay, so do not oversell yourself. Make it sharp, snappy, and easy to read. Again, coming back to the example, when I'm reading it, I know that this person is a ex corporate lawyer and he has worked with the Nigerian federal government. He has also been a ex non-profit founder. I mean, founder of some NGO, right? And currently he works in the insurance space. So it's very crisp, clear, and it's conveying whatever he's trying to write. Okay, now we'll move on to the next slide. Now, these are the words, these are the jargons which you have to avoid, as much as you can. Now, weasel words, okay, in LinkedIn language, weasel words are the words through which you actually try to sort of impress recruiters. Okay, now, passionate, motivated, leadership, extensive experience, strategic, okay, creative, driven, successful, track record, dedicated. Try to avoid these words in your about section as much as possible. This if you use these words, this is like overselling yourself. If you want to use one or two, that's fine, but some people write everything. Okay, too much information for me to actually process or for any person to process. Okay, so try to avoid these words. One or two words are completely fine. I mean, that there's, if you are motivated to do something, okay. If you are good in leadership, okay. If you are creative, you have a creative angle to doing stuff, fine. But choose one thing, do not write all the 10 words. Okay, now moving on to the next slide, keywords. Okay, now how many of you know that LinkedIn has a analytics section giving details of your profile? uh, can you guys post it on the chat box? Okay, okay, no. Nishika says no. uh, MLLB Charmika says no. Okay, perfect. So LinkedIn has a section called analytics, right? I don't have access to that currently. Otherwise, I would have shown you guys. So whenever, let's say I update my profile, okay, with any of the keywords. So when you actually go to my profile, you can currently see I've written head of learning and development at Memo Pundits, learning and development, because that's the industry I come from. BLLB from HNLU, LLM from Symbiosis Law School. I've worked with upGrad in the past, so it's written there on my profile. And I'm also into content development, so it's written there on my profile, right? Now, the most important thing is, if I want a job, let's say I come from a edtech background, I cater to learning and development. If I want a job, let's say in let 5 years in the learning and development sphere, right? And if someone is looking at my profile, what are the keywords should absolutely be there on my about section? Learning and development, content development, customer success, if I want to go to that particular field, and edtech, right? If it is not there, people are not going to look at my profile. That's first. Secondly, LinkedIn will not catch my profile when anyone searches for these particular keywords, okay, using the search box, right? So whenever you are updating your profile, you have to update relevant keywords. Okay, now keywords are basically meta tags. Go back and check what meta tags are, and if you have already read cyber laws, you will know what meta tags are. Keywords are meta tags, which is planted in your profile so that your profile visibility increases. Okay, now let's say use keywords from your industry. In our particular industry, there are a lot of keywords. Okay, these days, since the pandemic started, a lot of people are writing content. Okay, so legal content. Secondly, if you are into litigation, you can talk about litigation. If you work in high court, you can write high court. If you work in Supreme Court, you can write Supreme Court. If you have interned in Amarchand Mangalas, if you have interned in trilegal, you can write that. These are all keywords. Now to give you the best example, when I want to reach out to someone, let's say who's working in ICICI Bank, all I have to do is put ICICI Bank in the search box. Whoever has planted ICICI Bank in their about section, the first person to come up in the search list is that person. Okay, so keyword, it is like LinkedIn is all about keywords. Okay, in your headline you have to write the relevant keyword. In your about section also you have to write your relevant keyword, so that whenever I'm searching for someone, or specifically for someone, your profile should show up, right? Now to give you just to read the points and explain you how the keywords and the planting works. First is that when search is an important part, we always search things on Google, and it's the same thing on LinkedIn. So if you want to search for very specific people or job opportunity, you have to use that keyword, and any keyword nearest to that would actually pop up in the search search history or search list. Okay, Now, you should include combination of words in your profile. Best example, go to any particular internship application post, or a job description. They give you a job description where it's written skilled in mergers and acquisitions, or let's say experience in banking sector. Now if you want to apply for that particular job, you will have to plant a keyword related to banking, finance, or mergers and acquisition in your about section. Okay, so you can use a combination of keywords to actually put in your profile, so that whenever anyone is searching, you are on the top of the list. Okay, now use these keywords in your headline and summary as well. Summary, I headline should be very crisp and clear, I agree. Okay, but once you have learned certain new skills, and you think that you are good at this particular skill, you can actually mention a line or the keyword in your profile itself. Now I have been working in the edtech sector, so I have actually written edtech in my headline also, so that anyone searches for edtech, my profile will show up. So that's a keyword which is relevant to the industry I am working in. So that can be similar for you as well. Now, right keywords will expose you to more potential connections and opportunities. That's what I have been explaining you. If you, let's say, want to work with Vipo, and someone has already worked with Vipo and your profile has Vipo in it, right? And if someone else's profile has also Vipo in it, the moment you search for that Vipo, that person's profile will pop up and you can make your connection. Okay, you can reach out to them for help or let's say guidance. So keywords are important. You have to plant it in a way that you appear in the search box. That's the only function of putting keywords in your profile. So moving on to the next slide. Step one was the basics of your LinkedIn profile. Step two is additional details. So I think there were questions about what all certificates can we add. Okay, in the profile. Someone asked. Yeah. So this question is from. Okay, I can't really find the question now, but I'll tell you. So, when the pandemic started, there were a lot of webinars, right? Who were giving certificates and all that. If you think you have, actually acquired something very knowledgeable from that webinar, go ahead and put it. Okay. If you see my profile, I attended a webinar, around patent drafting. So I have put it on my profile, right? Because I actually learned that how the drafting procedure works in India. Okay, so webinar certificates, as long as you know what you have learned in that webinar, do not put all the certificates. Let's say if you've attended 30 webinars, do not put 30 webinar certificates. Okay, there is a separate section for certificates when you go to LinkedIn, but just below, I think, okay, just below your endorsement section, there is a separate section for certificates. Okay, you can put your certificates there, but be mindful of the fact that if you're putting it there, you are aware of whatever what are the details of the webinar, or let's say the course. Okay, now in accomplishments, you can actually add all these things: your publications, your research publications, with the journal number, or let's say the date, ISN number. Patents, if you have filed for any patents. Courses, 5 courses on your profile which are very relevant. If you have done a course on drafting, if you have done a course on, let's say, legal research, if you have done a course on mooting, you can put all these details here under courses. Here in the course, as long as you know again about the details, about the nitty-gritties of the course, you can put as many goals as you want. Okay, but again, be very mindful of the fact you should know the details. Like if I ask you what did you learn in this particular course, you should be able to answer. Projects, if there are any projects which you have undertaken, and for which you were awarded, or you actually learned something out of that project. There are a lot of projects which law students take up, when they are working with NGOs, and I think NCLT, So you guys can add the details of these projects here. Honors and awards majorly are for the gold medals we guys win, the moot court prizes, the sports prizes, the fests, everything related to extracurriculars or academic prizes. You can add in your honors and awards. Test scores, generally I've seen people writing their CLAT scores, their CLAT PG scores, their LSAT scores. If you are, let's say moving on to management after doing your law, then your GMAT, GRE scores. If you are appearing for your TOEFL, your, IELTS exam, then all these scores are to be uploaded here. If only if you want, okay? Languages, again, whatever language you speak. Organizations here mostly talk about your volunteering work. I think someone's mic is on. Can you guys please be on mute? Ananya, can you put everyone on mute? Okay. So, okay, I'll just share the screen again. Yeah. Organizations, these are all your volunteering works, right? If you have worked with any NGO, you can put it here. So these are the additional details. Now see, the basic details which you put in your profile, that is again to sort of showcase whatever you have done in your professional domain. But these details are important as well. Sometimes people actually look at your publications, or let's say they will look at the moods you have done, or the courses you have undertaken. So again, put all the details, relevant details here, but know about whatever details you are putting in the additional section. Okay. So now there is a featured section. I took example from my own profile because I have these two things on my featured section. Now, any of the blogs, articles, or let's say interview, if you've given any interview, if you have been a part of any podcast, right? And if any page on LinkedIn has actually posted it, pin all those posts to the featured section, right? This will show the person coming to visit your profile that okay, this person has not only done excelled in academics or extracurriculars, but he's also done certain things, like he has participated in some blog writing competition, or he has written some articles, he has given interview, or let's say he's been a part of the podcast. So these are some extra information for the recruiter. But I think in the featured section you don't have to put like every detail. It's just that you're resharing the post, right? But you're pinning it. So I think that's a good thing. So person will know that okay, this person has written blogs and articles. Okay. For you guys, mainly blogs and articles if you have published it somewhere. So okay, I'll move on to the next slide. Now we'll talk about LinkedIn networking 101. Guys, just give me a second. I think my internet is a bit unstable. I can hear myself twice. Just give me a minute. Yeah. Uh, just a second. Someone is still. Uh, yeah. Okay. Now I can hear myself properly. Yeah. So we were talking. I hope my screen is visible. Ananya, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Cool. So, yeah, I'm going to talk about LinkedIn networking now. Now, how do you reach out to people, right? Let's say you have done everything, you have joined LinkedIn, you have, completed your profile, you've done everything. But how do you reach out to people? The first and foremost thing is you have to reach out to and follow right people. Now, what do you mean by right people, right? If you are a UPSC candidate, I'm just giving you an example, so don't take it personally. If you are a UPSC candidate, right, who would you reach out to? You would reach out to someone who has cleared UPSC, right, or who has, let's say, cleared their pre, writing their mains, or let's say who has already, joined the services, right? So these are your right people. Now, if you want to, let's say, appear for UGC net, who are your right people? Someone who's, got a very good score in UGC net, or anyone whose profiles say that, I have cleared UGC net and now they are working as, let's say, JRF or junior research fellow, or professors, right? So you have to be very mindful of the fact that who are your right people. Now, for me, I always connect to people who are working in the edtech industry, because that's my industry. Those are my right people, right? I mean, if I connect with them, I would get to know everything about edtech. Okay, irrespective of the fact whether they come from a law background or not, as long as they are working around edtech, I am okay. I'm okay to read their post and learn more about what about their work. Okay, be authentic and current. Your profile should not look shady. Now, guys, I cannot put emphasis on this enough. You have to be very updated when it comes to your LinkedIn profile. With Instagram, with Facebook, it's like, we will update it once in a blue moon, but LinkedIn is not like that. If you're not updating your LinkedIn profile every now and then, whenever you learn a new skill or there's a new achievement in your life, your profile will become redundant. Okay, the details of your profile will become redundant. Okay, so you have to be very authentic. Put pictures, reach out to people. Do not throw shade at people unnecessarily. And you have to be very current. I mean, put details which are current. Live in the present. I mean, do not put details from your 10th standard or 12th standard, right? I want to know what you are doing currently. Okay. Importance of groups, hashtags, and reshares. Again, there are a lot of good groups on LinkedIn. I always give this example, and I've forced 2 3 of my friends to actually join this group. So there is a group for law students, from where and in this group, all the law students from all over the world, they are part of it. Okay, and they share very good resources around different kind of topics. Okay, now see, what you are doing here is you are reaching out to people from different jurisdiction, right? And you are learning new stuff. So you have to be, just search. Okay, you can search for law student India, or let's say law student worldwide. These are some of the groups which you can find very easily. Use the search box. Okay, and be a part of it. Learn new things. See what other countries are doing. See what other law students are doing. Okay, hashtags, again, whenever you are putting a post. Okay, use relevant hashtags. Best example is, I know for sure you all might have seen this uh, TikTok roast by Carrie Minati. Okay, in that one particular section, he shows the photograph of Amir Siddiqui with a hashtag called skirt. That's very irrelevant for an influencer to post, and who's a guy, he's posting that hashtag of a hashtag skirt. How is it relevant, right? So do not put irrelevant hashtags. If you are writing a blog, let's say on farm bill, your hashtag can contain words like farmers or farm bill, right? Do not put hashtags like domestic violence, okay, or hashtag like dowry deaths. That's very irrelevant. I know that your profile, or let's say your post will have more viewers because of the hashtags, but again, farm bill, domestic violence, dowry death, how are these interconnected? Okay, so be very relevant when you're putting hashtags. I mean, put hashtags which are absolutely close to your topic, not which are irrelevant. Okay, now reshares. Do not start resharing everything in your profile. Whatever you learn, you start resharing. I used to do that when back in 2015-16, when I was a newbie on LinkedIn. I used to reshare everything, but now I have started resharing stuff which will be relevant to my audience also, to my connection also, right? It's like, let's say if I am interested in artificial intelligence, and I keep reading stuff about it, a lot of people might not. Okay, so I don't share those stuff. But when there is, let's say, a topic which talks about law and AI, then I do, because then it's an interface between a topic which I am interested in and a topic which mostly my audience are also interested in, or my connections are also interested in. Okay, so reshare the relevant stuff, otherwise do not. Okay, research your future company, boss, team members. Why do I say this? Internship in itself is an entire process. Okay, when you start applying for an internship. Now, if I come and tell you, hey, I've been working with Trilegal, now suddenly you'll be like, okay, try legal, let me just check. Okay, so you just go, you type try legal, you, if they have a website, you check try legal's website, you see what kind of work they are doing, and you go ahead and apply. Okay, you have no idea who's taking your internship, like interview, if you're appearing for a job or an internship. Mostly these days they take interviews for internships as well. You have no idea who your boss is, okay, or who your team members are. LinkedIn is a best place to actually search for it. Search for your probable boss. You might not actually know who's your who is going to take your interview, but at least you can search for your teammates, or someone who's already working with Trilegal in, let's say, in their banking team or in their corporate mergers team. Okay, so be very like enthusiastic about conducting this research, because you will get to know what kind of a team you are going to work with, who is your boss. If you already know who's taking your interview, do a research. Okay, do a proper research on this. To give you an example, again, a junior of mine, I was talking to him, and he was appearing for, I think, uh, um, interview a legal associate position at Tech Mahindra. Okay, now he already knew who is going to take his interview. What he did was he conducted a very simple LinkedIn search about that person's profile, and he got to know that that person who's taking his profile is also a Manchester United fan. Okay, and the my junior is also a supporter of that football team. So to break the ice, he actually started a conversation around Manchester United, and trust me, he got through. Okay, I don't know how his technical round went, but because of this particular ice breaking session around Manchester United, he got through. So sometimes it actually acts as a very good icebreaker also between that particular person and you, when you actually know everything about him. Okay, you have studied his profile in and out. Okay, so do a proper research about your future company, your boss, and your team members. So this is your LinkedIn networking. Now a lot of you will ask that, how do I reach out to people? Some people do not accept my LinkedIn request. That happens, it happens with me till date. Okay, I've sent a LinkedIn request to someone who's a expert in mediation from London, I think, and he has not accepted my like connection request as of yet. So I'm just still being patient. Okay, I'm not following up again and again, but I'm being patient. So let's just talk about that in the coming slides. Now I'm going to talk about skills and endorsements, okay, and recommendations. So I already discussed about recommendations when I started this session. Now there is a skill section, okay. Now these are the snippets of my own profile. You can go and check again, if you just want to check it out after the session. Now, document review, legal writing, intellectual property. These are the skills for which my friends have endorsed me. That means my friends and juniors, and I think I've worked with some of them. Okay. Now they know for a fact that I'm good at these skills. Okay. So that's why they have endorsed. Now, to the best way to actually ask for endorsement is you reach out to the people you have already worked with. Okay. It can be a lawyer who under whom you have interned, or your team members, right? You can actually ask them that, hey, we were working on this particular project and I think I'm good at this skill. Can you endorse me? Okay. Don't force people to endorse you, but if they are doing it, out of their own will, well and good. Okay. But don't force anyone to endorse you. Okay. So these are your skills where you are updating your skills, and this is just the endorsement part. There is a different section where you can actually update all the skills you have. I think you can update up to 25 skills. Okay. It includes everything. Like, if you know how to use PowerPoint, you can include that. You can write about document review, I've written here. Okay. You can I think write about contract drafting also. Okay, so all the relevant skills which you have, okay, if you're a good mooter, you can write that also. Okay, and then you can ask your friends to endorse you. Okay, endorse you as in they are also supporting you in a way that they know that you are good in this skill. So these are your skills and endorsements. Coming to recommendations. Now, recommendations, I gave you a very basic example that you can reach out to any of your teachers and they can actually write you a recommendation letter. It's the same thing. Okay. If any of your team members who you have worked with, or your ex boss, okay, or any of your faculty member who you are very close with and who knows how you have performed in your academics or something like that, you can reach out to them for recommendations. So there is a different link altogether in recommend. Once you click on recommendations, you'll see that there is a different link. Okay. uh, if you're using it through your phone, if you're using it through your laptop, ask for recommendation is a different section. If you can see it on the screen, you go to the edit part and you can actually enter the names of the people you want to ask recommendation from. But ask for recommendation from only those people who know you very closely in the professional front. I would never go and ask for recommendation from my mother or my father or my sibling, right, or my cousin. I have not worked with them, but I can actually go and ask for a recommendation from a ex team member, okay, or my ex boss, because I've worked with them. They know what I'm good at, they know my skills. Now, if you see, Sagar was my team member at upGrad. Janardhan, I used to work with him at Lawctopus. Okay, so these are my team members. I've very closely worked with them, so they have given me the recommendation. Okay. And in the recommendation also, if you would like them to include something very unique, or let's say if you are good at business development, or let's say you're good at marketing, you know how to talk to people, communications, right? You can actually ask for a revision also. You can ask them to include this word as well, and be very open about it, that if they actually write something about your communication skill, it will be good for you in the near future. Okay, it will be good for you to reach out to more people. Okay, so you can ask for a revision also of your recommendation. Ananya, I can see a lot of people in my screen waiting. Can you admit them all?
Yeah, ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so now comes this part. Okay, now this is the fun part. I'll give you guys 2 minutes. Okay, if you already have a LinkedIn profile, well and good. If you don't, it's okay. Go back after the session and make it. But go to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, uh, try searching for one profile of anyone from a background, and I'm be very specific. Okay, I'm being very specific, and you also be very specific when you're searching for this person. Okay, who is a expert in environmental law. Okay, I'll give you guys 2 minutes. Go search for this person on LinkedIn, any person. Okay, it doesn't have to be like I'm targeting one particular person. It can be any person. Okay, 2 minutes. What's the time now? Just a second. It's 6:07. Come back at 6:10. Okay, then I'm going to start with the Q&A round. So search for one profile, one particular person who is very good in environmental law, who's an expert. Okay, so you guys have like 2 minutes. Come back and post the profile link or the name in the chat box. Ananya, can you admit everyone? I can still see people waiting.
Ma'am, I can't see.
Acha, okay. Okay, Urvashi, I saw your comment. Let's just see. Let's wait for everyone to come back. Awesome. I see a lot of responses. Shivangi Adani, Naisa Uja. Who's posted? Sanjay Upadhyay. Okay. Sukriti Kashyap. Yes, I know her. I've purchased some diyas from her last Diwali. Naisa Ipshita Chaturvedi. Okay. Virendra Gangwar. I know him. Sanjini Jain, Ashutosh Sengar. Okay, cool, guys. So now, why did I ask you guys to do this activity? Okay, there's just one simple reason. That is, see, when you went ahead and you searched for, let's say, any particular keyword. Now in this case we were searching for someone who's expert in environmental law. You might have like searched for keywords around environmental law and environment or expert in environmental law or whatever. Okay, irrespective of the keyword you were searching for. Did you guys see that in their profile? I don't know how many of you actually noticed this. In their profile, there is a highlighted word called environment. Did you guys see that? Whoever came back and posted this. Okay, Ravi says yes. Yes, Komal says yes. Kushbu says yes. Okay. Did you guys see that because of that particular keyword, their profile actually popped up in your search result? Right, in bold words. Yes, Ravi, in bold words. Because I wanted to show you guys how LinkedIn analytics work. Okay, when you are planting keywords in your profile which are very relevant. Okay, um relevant as in relevant to your own industry, right? You will pop up in the search box. So this was just to show you guys how LinkedIn analytic works. Okay, now coming back, I'll just start sharing. I think everyone has come back again. Okay, I'll just start sharing my screen. So we are done with the activity. I'll just go to the last two slides. So this is important, but yeah, we'll cover it. So now let's discuss the do's and don'ts. Avoid too many buzzwords. Buzzwords again are similar to visual words, which I told you. Do not, put every word in your profile because again, too many information, too much information. Okay, so that's one thing. Secondly, uh, the thing is that okay, guys, just a sec. I can hear someone talking. Ananya, can you mute everyone, please?
Yeah, ma'am, I muted her. Yeah.
Okay. So your writing on your profile should convey not only your strengths but also your personality. Go and check Tanmay Bhatt's profile. Okay. He was a co-founder at AIB, but it his profile can actually show you he's a comedian. Okay, he's a content creator, right? So it should not just show people that okay, this person is good at contract drafting, but it should also show that what exactly is your personality, right? What you are good at, what are the domains, which defines your personality, right? Then comes include multimedia in your profile. Very well, you can do that. Okay, you can upload your resume, you can upload any of your let's say research papers and all that. But again, please do a check at your end. Use word marks in your research paper, sorry, watermark in your research paper, so that people cannot copy. If you are uploading PDF, log the PDF and then you can upload it for others to read. Okay, but yes, multimedia is something I think you can include. If you see Rahul Subramaniam's profile, again, he's a comedian. He has included a lot of videos in his profile. So if you have made any video, feel free to add it over here. Okay, extracurricular volunteering works, additional spoken or written languages. Again, if you're good at French, write it. If you're good in Spanish, write it. If you work for stray dogs, you can write it. If you are like, let's say, a national level sports player, you can write it. Include your content like articles about your specializations, reactions to industry trends. If you are let's say interested in blockchain, okay, and currently blockchain is developing, and if you have written any article around blockchain, feel free to post the link over here. Okay, uh, related to cryptocurrency, right? Bitcoins, if you are interested in bitcoins, if you write about share markets, you can feel free to add your article links on LinkedIn. It gives you a lot of options, okay, to add relevant things around your profile. So these are the do's and don'ts. So there's just one don'ts, okay, and mostly from point number 2 to 5 is do's. Whatever you can add in your LinkedIn profile. Now, LinkedIn is your face on professional social media. It needs to be updated periodically. I have told you this. You have to update it every now and then with a new skill, a new internship, a new achievement, any projects which you have undertaken, or a blog you write, or let's say if you deliver a presentation. Okay, it has to be there on your LinkedIn profile, so that everyone knows that what you are doing, what you are currently doing, and it also stays there as a proof, or not as a proof, like, let's say, why do we put pictures on Instagram? So that we remember, right, as memories. So you can also put all your achievement here as memories, yes, and for the people to know, for the relevant people to know what you are doing. Okay, uh, the last slide of this particular presentation is frequently asked questions. I get all these questions every now and then in my inbox. Okay, so looking for a new role or internship, should I mention that in the headline? You can. Okay, I'm looking for a job switch. Let's say I'm looking for an internship with any in-house team, or I'm looking for an internship in banking sector. You can write that. Okay, but do not add it to your profile picture. If you see, LinkedIn has now given option to add a open to work, hashtag open to work, sort of a, what do you call it, like a tag, which you can add in your profile picture. Don't do that. You can add it in your headline, but do not add it to your uh, profile picture. It will make you look very desperate. Okay, do not add it in the profile picture, but if you add it in the headline, it's fine. Okay, should I upload my resume? Yes, you can. Okay, and you should. And but upload your updated resume. Update it every now and then. Okay, do I send a personalized message with a connection request to everyone? See, the thing is, with your friends who you already know, with your seniors who you already know, and they might know you already, that's fine. You just send them a connection request. But when it comes to someone who's very senior, let's say a senior lawyer or a senior faculty, then write a personalized message that why are you reaching out to that person. So let's say, I know this, and when I got connected to Mr. Bhumesh Verma, I simply wrote that, sir, I attended your webinar on force majeure clause. I really liked it, and so I would like to connect with you on LinkedIn. And he happily accepted my connection request. And now the thing is, he keeps on sending me, new webinar links which he's conducting around contracts or force majeure clauses. Okay, so you have to write a very personalized message. Plus, when you are sending it to a female, or let's say you are sending it to a male, senior, right? Do not write hi sir and ma'am oblique. Okay, from the profile name, from the profile picture whether that person is a male or a female. So you do not have to write hi sir or oblique ma'am. Okay, simply write hi ma'am or hi sir. Okay, uh, please do not write it. Mr. Praveen Parekh, I think, posted something around this today itself. Okay, that I am going to reject all application which says hi sir and ma'am. They should know that I am a sir. Okay, so you guys can go check that post out. It's funny, but it's very relevant. Okay, so do send a personalized message, but mention why are you reaching out to that person. Do not send a message like, sir, I want a job in your company. They will simply block you. Trust me, they are going to simply block you. Okay, so again, message good, but again, do not send like messages which will, by after reading the message, people will end up blocking you. So don't send those kind of messages. Yeah. So, have any questions? You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, but I think we are done with the presentation. So I can take question from the chat box. So you guys can put your questions in the chat box now. Okay. Ma'am, how should we? I'll go from the last question. How should we start conversation to a new relevant connection who is at a higher post in our industry? Again, who asked this question, by the way? Soumya. So Soumya, I just gave you a hint, right? You have to write. So these people who are really senior to us, okay, every now and then they post something very relevant. Okay, now if you see Mr. Jayant Bhatt, I think he keeps on posting stuff around criminal law. Okay, now if you're interested in criminal law, you can simply write to him that, sir, I've read this post of yours, I really like it. Okay, and I would to stay connected, I would like to send you this connection request so that I can read more posts. Simple. Okay, it's a very simple message. Drop him that message, and I trust me, you will get connected with that person. But if you just send him a random request, he might be getting like hundreds of requests like this every day. Okay, so do a research, read about his what all he is doing currently. If he has posted any new article, or he's written something, he's posted a new status, just read and then send your connection request. Do we need to add description under work experience? Good question, Charmika, good question. So see, when you write, let's say, legal associate at trilegal. Okay, now I know that you are a legal associate at trilegal, but if I want to hire you, I should know what work you have done at trilegal. Okay, so whatever you are doing at trilegal, you can write it in the description of the work experience. Okay, it's extremely important to write the description of the work experience. What did you learn in the company? What are the projects which you have undertaken in the company? Is there any specific cases which you were a part of? If you have undertaken a research work, on a specific topic, write that. So this is a very good question. And yeah, Charmika, you have to add the description of your work experience. Can we share our quite old achievements and certificates? Kushbu, quite old, 1 year old is fine. I would not suggest, certificates which are more, older than that. 1 year old is still fine. Okay. Do not add certificate from your class 12th, or let's say first year, second year, if you are in your fifth year now. Okay. Makes no sense. Okay. Uh, yeah. Again, what all questions do we have? Oh, we have 13 new questions. Okay. I'll But till now I have sent to many big faces without personally even got connected. So is it really necessary to Kushbu, see, the thing is, when you send a personal message, there are high chances that people will remember you. Okay. Now, to give you an example, just before a session, there is a student from Nalsar who connected with me. Okay. Now, why he connected with me was because I think somewhere while sending a connection request, he wrote to me that he's interested to pursue a career outside of law.
Hello.
I have doing. Okay, which I have done. Ananya, can you mute everyone, please? Yeah. So which I have done. Okay. Like I'm pursuing a career which is not really related to law. And today itself, he actually reached out to me saying that, ma'am, you remember our previous conversation? And luckily, I remember because while sending me a connection request, he wrote to me, why did he reach out to me? Okay. So basically, I personally feel that whenever you are sending a request, to let the person know and for the person to remember you, the message is really important. I have been doing it, trust me, it works wonders. uh, Chamika, you can drop me a message on WhatsApp, sorry, LinkedIn. Arshita, yes, you can. The answer to your question is you can add that in your featured section. Ishita, for first year, you can start building your link.
Hello.
Ananya, can you put everyone on mute? Yeah. So, see, the thing is that for first year student, if you're a first year student, I know for a fact that you don't have a lot of experience, but then build a habit of reading things, okay? Reading things and writing things. Now, see, when let's say you have just joined law school, okay?
Hello.
Ananya, can you please?
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So yeah, so first year students, if you don't have a lot of experience, keep reading about new stuff, whatever is going on in the industry, and then you can write your reaction to that particular thing on your LinkedIn profile. For starters, this is good. Okay, as and when you keep doing internships and you keep mooting or let's say write research papers, you can keep adding stuff to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so and if you need my help in reviewing that, feel free to drop me a message. Okay. uh, okay, there's a question. Yeah, Shivani, that's a very good question. So she's asking, my main focus is on corporate firms or jobs. Okay, how do I approach them through LinkedIn? I just gave you an example through, the activity which we did. Okay, searching for people. Now, when you actually put in the keyword on the search box, you see there are different kind of options you get. First is people, second is jobs, third is content, fourth is I think somewhere related to location. Okay, so you can click on jobs, and if that particular keyword is somewhere planted in the job description, it will pop up automatically. You want a corporate law job, if let's say you are going for mergers and acquisitions, if you are interested in that, and if you are posting mergers and acquisition in the search box, the if you click on the job section, it will pop up, and you can see all the opportunities where mergers and acquisition has been listed, and then you can follow whatever is the applying process. Okay, so this is how it works, basically. there's a there's an amazing video about job search on YouTube. I will actually circulate that on the WhatsApp group which you guys have joined, so you can check that out. It's specifically about searching a job on LinkedIn. Okay. Okay, I'll just go back. Guys, just give me a minute, okay? I have to, yeah. So I'll just check all the questions. Quite old achievement, I've answered that. Okay, we have new questions. I'll take the new questions. Abdul, my LinkedIn profile is my name, Aunnesha Day. I will just post it on the chat box, so you can actually search. I have a black and white profile picture, which was there in the this webinar's poster as well. Ma'am, could you let us know how to seek internships from prospective places we aim to get an internship opportunity? Lizzie, what you can do is these places, mostly the firms and you see, they will post it on their individual websites. Okay, they also post it on their LinkedIn pages. Okay, so make a list of 10 companies where you actually are seeking internships and keep checking it every now and then for any internship positions. With this whole pandemic, the best thing is that everyone has started using LinkedIn to its like extreme, I can say. So make a list of 10-15 companies where you want to, let's say, intern. Okay, and then keep on checking their LinkedIn pages, specifically their job section. Okay, all the internship opportunities are posted in the job section these days. Lakshay, uh, see the this PPT, I cannot share the PPT, but the link would be shared. The recording of this will be shared with you, so you can check again. But I will not be able to share the PPT. Does the number of connections matter while someone check your profile? I don't think so. Sanskar, I don't think so. As long as you are, connecting to relevant people, okay, and even if the relevant people are, let's say, 100 in number, that is fine. Okay, but your connection should not be like 10 followers or 10 connections. Okay, the decent number should be 100 to 150 connections. Okay, but again, numbers do not matter. I think that's my personal thing. Sarthak, yes, I know Praveen sir has that, but I did not get a chance to actually tell him that he should not write it in third person. If you do get a chance, tell him that you should change it to first person. Uh, I first year I have answered. Charmika, you can drop me a message on LinkedIn. I told you. Is mentioning of the year in which you are studying preferable, or can I just mention student? See, Kritika, there are a lot of students in Symbiosis Noida, right? You can mention which year you are studying at. See, it will help you in two ways. First, if you, let's say, if you want to intern at a specific place and if you have applied and they have specifically written fourth and fifth year law students only, and if you have written fourth year law student, chances of you getting a view from the recruiter is high. First, secondly, I why would you be ashamed of writing the year? Okay, feel free to write the year. Student and SLS Noida again looks a little shady. Okay, so write which year you are studying in. Okay. uh, okay. Can you please brief about finding people on LinkedIn again? Shreya, you can simply put their names if you already know the names. Otherwise, see, you will get suggestions from LinkedIn itself. The beauty of LinkedIn analytics is it will give you suggestions to connect with people. Either you can connect through that, through you may know. Okay, and if you want to search for someone very specific, search for them through the search box. Okay, you can post their name, or let's say if you want to connect with someone specifically from the IPR domain, you can type trademark. You will get a list of people who are working around trademark. Only if trademark is there in their profile, planted somewhere, the keyword. Okay. uh, Khushbu, do we need to put any special character before keywords while sharing? No, no. In hashtags, you will have to put the special character, with special character, right? But in keywords, you don't have to put a special character. Ma'am, I'm in my second year. I've done 4 internships. Yes, Rajita, you have to have all these details added to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, all the details which you are talking about. So yeah, thank you, Ananya. Ananya has posted my LinkedIn profile, so anyone who wants to check out. Can we write like batch of 2022 TNNLU? Ananya, no, don't write that. You can write it after you have graduated. Okay, you can write TNNLU, comma 22 BLLB, but batch of 2022 doesn't make sense. Ma'am, what if a person don't have a premium? Yeah, Khushbu, this is a problem. Premium and a not non-premium account. So in that case, you just send them a note. There is a option to send them a note. You cannot send them a message, but you can, while sending a LinkedIn request, you can send them a note. Many of you don't know that, uh, but yeah, there is an option to send a note. What is special about what is special of Symbiosis Law School, Pune? Okay. Amrita ma'am, I think I don't know. The students can answer probably. I was just there for 1 year, so and I was pretty busy with my LLM. Ma'am, I'm a budding petroleum engineer. Okay. Sometimes in oil industry, we need to ask for intern when they are not posted publicly. How can I ask for from relevant? Okay. Soumya, again, if you want to reach out to someone, send them a very personalized message stating that you are looking for internship. Don't force them. Like, don't actually write stuff like I need a job, okay, or I need an internship. Make a very proper, personalized message why you are reaching out to them, what is the issue, what is your background, and can they help. Okay, always ask for help. Don't really force stuff on people. How can we ask someone for recommendation on LinkedIn? Charmika, if you visit the recording of this particular session, you will see that there is a ask for recommendation column under recommendation itself. If you click on that, it will give you list of all the people who you can reach out to for recommendations. uh, Ma'am, what all things can a second year law student? Kritika, you can post a lot of things on LinkedIn. Okay, if you have read something about a new article, okay, or a new topic, let's say if you have some views to share about the COVID vaccine or how the government is dealing with the farmers, you can write it on LinkedIn. Okay, it will give you, it will give your audience your perspective as well. So they will also remember that, okay, Kritika actually wrote something around this. Okay, what kind of details must be included in public profile, or is it recommended that all details are public? Chamika, I did not get this question. Phone number, again, it's completely your discretion to add or not. Okay, but I personally don't add it. Email address is fine. Okay, phone number, be very, do a check at your end and then add. Please share the LinkedIn group again where. Okay, Ayush, it's called Law Students Worldwide. Importance of research portfolios for second year laws. Research portfolios. I did not get that question. Uh, okay. How many internships are actually needed till second year LLB? Four. You get four breaks: summer break, break in first year, summer break and winter break in second year. So four internships. So 10 in total. That's the ideal number. And I'm not kidding, guys. Like 10 is the ideal number. Okay. Do we have any other questions? Ayush, I've answered your question. I'll just skim through the. Oh, thank you. So, someone from Sri Lanka attended the session. Thank you so much. And yes, so see, this is a very good chance to network. Okay, half of the audience is from India, and someone is attending from Sri Lanka. So, you guys should probably, form a group on LinkedIn. Anyone can form a group on LinkedIn. Share it with us. We'll share the group link on the WhatsApp group, right? And everyone can be here. Now someone is from Sri Lanka, she or he can tell us about the jurisdiction or the laws in Sri Lanka, and we can probably share the things from India. So this is how networking works. Okay, this is exactly how networking works. So there's a last question. So guys, I'm going to take a last question from we should do internship for law. From Kashish, can you reframe your question? I did not really get. Can we also post any case summaries that we have read or any latest case? Kritika, yes, you can post case summaries also. You know, anything, any topic which you have read and you think, you have a perspective or your opinion around that, you can post it on LinkedIn. Acha, from where we should do internship? Kashish, it's completely on you. What you are interested in. Where do you see yourself after you're done with your 5 year law school or 3 year law school? It completely depends on your interest as well. If you're interested in litigation, if you're interested in-house, if you want to go for judiciary, so your internship should be tailor made around that. Okay, so there's a goal, and the path which you are currently trying to make should be around, like, what all internships should you do. It completely depends on your goal. Ma'am, can you suggest where can we learn drafting? Okay, Rajita, drafting is something, personally, if you ask me, there are a lot of free YouTube videos where faculties are teaching drafting. Unacademy is one. They have their live classes going on around drafting. Okay, they also have some recorded sessions already put on YouTube. So you can start with YouTube, and then once you get a hold of how drafting works, then you can probably take a formal, like a drafting course. So start with YouTube. Like, you won't get bored, if I can put it that way. And you can learn drafting in, let's say, 10-12 minutes, and you can start looking at more such videos. Okay. Okay, Abdul is from Pakistan. Guys, see, this is how you network. Okay, make a group, make a LinkedIn group. Please get added to the group, and Abdul will share his updates from Pakistan. We'll share our updates from India. uh, what are the various skills a law student must have, like drafting, etc.? Drafting, researching, vetting, communications, professionalism, extremely important. Okay, you cannot just go to some senior person and say, I want to work under you. You have to be very professional. You should know how to communicate. You should know drafting, you should know researching, you should also know vetting. Vetting is when you actually review any contract or any document. So these are the five main things which a lawyer should know, a law student should know. Okay. Does the whole profile have to be focused on one domain, law or marketing, for example? Is it recommended we don't include extra? No, Charmika, no, absolutely no. You should include whatever skills you are learning. Okay, it should not be focused on one thing. I am a lawyer by profession. My specialization was corporate and IPR in BLLB. I did my master's in innovation and technology. I worked in data science and machine learning. I shifted to legal ed tech. Now I am into learning and development and content. My profile has a lot of things. Okay, it's not focused towards one thing. I know someone who's a lawyer but also a rugby player in US. Okay, and he is basically has taken it up as a full-time profession. He's not pursuing law, so it's not focused towards law, it's focused towards rugby also. Okay, so you can include, you can very well include graphic designing in your profile. That just shows a creative side of your profile. Nice. So, guys, whoever wants me to go through their LinkedIn profile will have to give me at least 24 hours to get back to you. You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You can, very well update, and I can review your profile for you. But you will have to be very patient with me. I have 700 requests pending, and I'm not kidding you. I get around 20-25 messages every day. So just mention that you have attended my webinar so that I know that, okay, I have to reply to you. Okay, so I can do that for you guys, but do update it. And if you have actually, liked this session, we will be posting the recording on YouTube as well. You can just go back and check if you want to like sort of revisit the things which I have taught you. And if you have actually updated your profile, if you want me to review it, please drop me a message on LinkedIn. I'll be happy to connect with you. No, Soumya, you don't have to, have a premium account to connect with me. Just send me a connection request, okay? And in the note, you can write that you have attended my webinar. I'll know, okay? Fine. So we have overshot by 12 minutes. I did not want to do that. You guys have your Sundays to attend, Sundays to celebrate. So, have a very good weekend. Keep learning about new things and keep posting about them on LinkedIn is, that's extremely important. No, you don't have to have a premium account on LinkedIn. You can easily work with a non-premium account as well. uh, do it once you are at a stage where you actually need all the LinkedIn plugins. Okay, now there are a lot of things LinkedIn offers, for businessmen and for senior professionals. You guys don't need it as of now. You'll need it once you are done with your college life. That's when you should start using your premium account. For now, whatever you have, please update your profile, right? Put all the relevant details, and if you need my help, please do not feel shy to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Okay, just mention it in the note that you are coming from my webinar. Okay, so I'll know who to connect to. Okay, so fine. Ananya, are we done with the feedback forms and all?
Yeah, ma'am, I sent it thrice. Let's
Achha.
wait for 5 minutes. Let people fill it.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, perfect. Oh, there are still questions coming in. Just a second. Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much for attending. Thanks for taking out time on a Sunday, right? We will have a different session. I am hopeful I'll conduct it very soon. Okay. Around job search and internship search. I cannot tell you a tentative date as of now, but yeah, it will be coming really soon. We have certain courses, okay, around skill development, around mooting, around citations. If you want, Ananya, I think, has posted the website link. You can check it out. And yeah, I think, if I see a lot of students interested, I might launch a course on LinkedIn itself. Okay. So, yeah, take care.